Now we are going to the forest to see if we can find something today in the early July. It's really nice weather today, and it says to be bad weather, but it doesn't seem like that. This is all the stuff that I'm bringing. This is broken, so I use a silver tape to tape it. So this kind of basket is very good for picking mushrooms. And of course you need a boot, and of course my mushroom bag. So it's good to have some glove, some paper bag, and some luminous vest, so we could see each other from far. Algae.
You got one aluminum vest?
Two.
Okay.
This is our food, lunch, and fika, and of course mosquito repellents. And LG got his boots too. Are you ready, LG?
Ready?
More than ever.
Yeah.
We have to try and see if we can fit everything in. So let's go.
The door locked.
Jag vet inte. Har du inte sett det? So sometimes we forgot whether our door is locked or not. When two persons is doing things at the same time, so we assume each other. Oh, you have locked, or did I lock? So LG is going to have a look. Everything is locked. Okay, that's good. I often tell people autumn is my happy time. And do you know that picking mushroom is the best form of mindfulness? Every time I pick up a mushroom, I feel this rush in my brain of joy and abundance. And I hope you feel that too. It's like treasure hunting. You need to be concentrated and focused. And for that, I guarantee you the result is often rewarding. This is Matsutake, one of the most expensive mushrooms in the world. In Swedish, it's called Goliatmusseron. This mushroom are usually found in a pine wood forest. It's normally found under the dirt or the moss. They are very difficult to find, and you somehow need to have a special eye to hunt for them, and this works through years of experience. I've been hunting this for 4 years now, and every year I learn something new. This year I learned the different places that you can find them easily, but still you need to have an eye for that. This year, I learned to forage another edible mushroom. They told me this mushroom is really delicious, so I'm really curious to see how it tastes like. And this is how it looks like. It's white underneath and it's slightly peachy on the top. We often bring food with us when mushroom hunting. You need a lot of energy because it requires a lot of walking. After lunch, we usually have a cup of coffee and some cookies. Such a beautiful day, yeah?
Yeah. Good temperature.
Yeah. This is where we usually pick our mushroom. And this year we found quite a few pickers from Thailand. And look at this. This is incredible. The mushrooms are found underneath these big rocks. And it was so big and so difficult to pull out because it was so attached to the root of the pine tree. It took me a while to pull it out really hard, and when I saw that, I was shocked. This mushroom is as big as my hand. It's beautiful, isn't it? To be honest, I prefer the picking part than the cleaning and preparing it for cooking part. I usually like to categorize all my mushroom according to different grade. Some of the best quality in one bowl and those that are a little bit tougher in another. For example, the bigger ones are considered less quality compared to the smaller and the younger one. The meat are more tender. These are the smaller one, and I like to cut them into quarters, and I just fry them with some butter and keep them in a plastic bag and freeze it. This could be used for stir fried later. I heard that you could eat Matsutake raw, but I still prefer to cook it. Because this mushroom meat is quite tough, so it really doesn't matter if it is frozen, the consistency is still the same. I also cut them into thin slices, so this can be used both stir-fried or with some fried noodles. I do the same with some butter. If you think that it is too dry, you can add a little bit of water so that the mushroom will not dry up as it freezes. Me and LG, we like to take the bike to ride around the countryside. Sometimes we find places where we could find mushrooms and we stop over. Let me tell you a very scary incident. We once stopped at a very sandy area. You know, this bike is not so light, so it tipped and we both fall onto the ground, and LG legs was trapped under the bike, and I don't know how, maybe the superwoman in me that lifted the bike. It was like 300 kilograms. I was shaking, and at that moment I just didn't understand how strong I was. LG, he hurt himself quite badly, so we went to the emergency ward, and luckily it was just some inflammation, and it will take 2 months to heal. And you probably wonder why I like riding on bikes, right? Because to us it's like a therapy. It's a time where you could set your mind aside, just enjoying the nature. I noticed that when you are forced to sit behind doing nothing, you tend to be more aware about your own situation, whether is it personally, financially, spiritually. This year, I learned about another edible mushrooms, and they can be found almost everywhere, and it is called the black tack swamp. I saw this mushroom all the time, and I didn't know that it is edible. In the south of Sweden, they said this is a delicacy, and let me show you how it looks like. This mushroom have a peachy top and underneath is white. The gill will come out later. Beside that, I also found a few Matsutake. You see, it's not just certain places. In fact, this mushroom can be found almost everywhere. Swedes normally won't tell you where they found their mushrooms, but for me, I don't mind sharing it. Yes, you heard me. I share my secret places to people I like. The feelings of abundance not only come from how much mushroom you pick, it also comes from the love and care you give. And there's not many days of my life where you can meet Singaporeans. And this is a gift and abundance. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, give a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in my next. Have a nice weekend, my friends. Bye.